Thank you, everyone, for joining Vault Hours. If this is your first time here, this is our kind of version of office hours where the Bitwarden community can come together, chat with Bitwarden directly, learn some sneak previews of things before the rest of the world knows about them, right? Ask questions directly, learn from each other. There's so much benefit that we get from these kinds of sessions. So thank you for joining. And if you're joining as a recorded session, right, you weren't able to join the live session, welcome as well. I'm glad that you're still able to participate. Great. So, jumping into the agenda today. Oh, I don't know if I introduced myself, right? Hi, I'm Casey. I'll be running the session today, and I'll be joined by a ton of lovely Bitwarden colleagues across the product team, across our community teams. These will probably be familiar faces to you, but yeah, welcome. So, starting off with that agenda, right? We have some updates around attachment exports, which Ryan will chat through, and then a SSH agent kind of walk through and demo with one of our developers. Per usual, we love to pull some questions from the community as well, and give our honest answers. Then we're going to be sharing some other product updates from Bitwarden, and then some really cool kind of information around the RSA conference, which is happening next month. So a little bit more business focused, but still really cool kind of details. So, per usual, we'd love to make these as interactive as possible. So, if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the chat or in the questions pane. That the questions, the Q&A box looks like a little question mark. But if you have a live question or comment, right, if you want to make this more of a back and forth conversation, please just say so in the chat, and we'll make sure to promote you up to the stage. So, any initial questions that might have come through? We have some recommendations for posting more on our Mastodon and Blue Sky accounts. That makes a lot of sense. We have Don on our community team here, so he can definitely look into that for you. But yeah, feel free to put questions in throughout. We like to kind of take time to ensure everyone's questions are answered and have, kind of a back and forth dialogue during these sessions. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Ryan to talk through some updates to our attachments.
Thank you, Casey. First, audio check coming off of doing the music. We good? We good? Sound good? Great, awesome. So everybody, you hear this is like hot off the presses, right? Like fresh as of this morning. You can now export your vault item attachments alongside your vault, like all in just one button. So like just to go over the benefit here again, for people who have a premium account, any sort of premium features, you can attach multiple vault item, multiple files, one or many, however you like, to any vault item that you have saved in your Bitwarden vault. It will be encrypted, added to the Bitwarden cloud, stored securely in your vault that you can download from anywhere. Now, when you are exporting your vault, if you go to the web app and go to export, you will have a new option there that will not only give you your vault, but also all of your files in a zip attachment. So this is something that has been a long-standing request from the community. Very happy that we can deliver on that today. I go to our next slide. You can just kind of see what it looks like here. Sorry, the screenshot came in a little bit small, but just so people know that this is available only for the individual vaults right now. So if you belong to an organization, you'll have a drop-down that says export from, and you want to make sure you select My Vault for that. And the new format is called .zip with attachments. So when you confirm that format, it'll take a couple of seconds for the server to compile everything into a zip file, and it will all just get downloaded. And yeah, it looks like this. So you'll have your data in a JSON file, and then you'll have all your attachments in another folder. And if you go one deeper into that folder, there will be a folder for every item that had an attachment. And if you had multiple attachments, they would appear inside of those folders together. All right, so what is the support for this looking like? Well, right now, this is our first iteration of it. It is only available in the web app. It is only available for the individual vaults, and it will come in an unencrypted format. And there's much more planned in future release. Like there's going to be more coming. And the question here from Bert, will they import back if you need to restore? At this time, no. But if you need to go back and do things manually, everything is neatly organized in that zip file. So you can just go to each individual item and then just attach them in that way. So it'll be big improvement over what we have today. So, well, what we had yesterday, because this is now available today. All right, so this is actually a big shout out to Bernd. Many of you in the community might know them as Quextron. This he has been awesome. Joined our team about a year ago. Is a senior software engineer at Bitwarden. Very passionate Bitwarden community member with several notable PRs on the GitHub, even before employment here at Bitwarden. So I just want to say, like, if you are really super interested and passionate about the product and you're contributing and you're interested in putting new features in the product, start working on it and, consider joining the team. And actually, you're going to hear from Bernd here in just a moment. Oh, that's not, sorry there. I got you messed. We'll hear from the man himself here in just a moment. I might have messed that up, but we'll get that going. And right into the next subject.
Thanks, Ryan. So if you've been with us since earlier this year, you might remember a big update we rolled back in January. So the SSH key management with agent support inside the Bitwarden password management desktop application. So let's just start by doing a quick refresher on what SSH keys are, especially since it has been a few months since we introduced the SSH agent for key management. So SSH keys offer a more secure way to log in to your remote systems without needing the use of passwords. So they work as a pair. You have the private key that stays securely on your machine, and then the public key is shared with the system you are trying to access. So when you log in, the system checks whether the keys match without ever transmitting the private key over. So that's what makes it much, much safer than just using a password. So once everything is set up, the SSH key makes logging it much faster, much more convenient, no more typing passwords every time you connect. So who uses SSH keys? I don't know how many of you are IT admins, sysadmins, but we get the sysadmins who are managing servers, your developers connecting to Git or other code repositories, cloud users, and automation tools running secure scripts. So it's really a standard in IT, and I'd love to hear if anyone here uses SSH keys. Please feel free to put that in the comments over here. We want to learn what we can improve. If you're using the new feature, I would love to hear that. So again, it is a standard in IT dev and cloud environments because it is both secure and efficient. Next slide, please. So since the launch of the SSH agent, it has really become one of our most appreciated additions. We get a lot of comments on Reddit about it, and we're hearing a lot from the IT teams, developers who rely heavily on SSH for their day-to-day work. And just to recap, this feature lets you generate, store, and use those SSH keys directly within the desktop application. So no more jumping, context switching, jumping between tools, or manually managing private key files. And yes, it does include the SSH agent support. So your stored keys can be used seamlessly with systems and services that rely on SSH authentication. Now, why does this matter? I mean, you can securely generate and store those SSH keys in the same trusted place as your passwords, Bitwarden. The IT teams get a big efficiency boost, improved workflows and stronger security. And this was one of our most highly requested community feature over the last few years, something we really heard loud and clear and delivered on. So let's quickly revisit a couple of key use cases. You might want to access remote servers so you can authenticate without manually managing those private keys. It works seamlessly. And then signing Git commits, right? So developers can ensure that those code commits are verifiable and authentic, using keys stored directly in the Bitwarden vault. So if you haven't had a chance to try this feature, now might be a great time. If you're a developer or a sysadmin or IT team, it already is built into the Bitwarden desktop application, so ready to improve your SSH workflows. And Bernd will do a quick walkthrough next. But if you've been using it already, let us know in the chat what you think about it. Again, Ryan introduced him very much earlier, but if you didn't already know, Bernd has made some very key contributions to the Bitwarden community, including adding the Argon 2 KDF and maintaining his own Bitwarden client in the past, Cold Warden. So one of the key features of Goldwarden was its SSH agent support. And again, that's what's really been officially integrated into the Bitwarden desktop app. So Ben will show you a demo of the SSH agent in action, especially with a new feature that was just released very recently, the SSH agent forwarding, which basically allows you to use your local SSH keys to authenticate on a remote server. So you can securely connect to other systems from your remote server without your private keys ever leaving your Bitwarden vault. Bernd, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nasir. Just checking if it's working so far. Let me know when you're able to see my screen.
That looks
Seems
great.
to be working. Yep. Okay, so today I have kind of a recap of how the feature works. I believe we've previously showed it in one of the previous Vault hours, but I have a recap of how it works and then a demo of two upcoming features, which are agent forwarding and remember authorization prompts. And so to kind of reiterate on how this feature works, as Nasir mentioned, the main use case for this is you want, as an administrator, you want to access your SSH keys in order to authorize to some servers without using a password, or you may want to sign your Git commits using SSH keys. So to sign into a server, I would, via my CLI in this case, authorize or run the login command for my server. And if I do so, the Bitwarden client now asks me whether I want to authorize this sign-in request, and I can hit authorize, and I'm logged in. In this case, I've logged in using the -A flag, which stands for agent forwarding. And what agent forwarding allows you to do is, imagine you're an administrator that wants to copy files from one server to another server. The question is, how do you authorize from the first server to the second server? And what the agent forwarding feature allows you to do is use your local Bitwarden client in order for one server that you've logged into to authorize to another server securely. And so in this case, I'm going to demo that by logging into GitHub from this server that I've logged into. And doing this, we will now get a different kind of confirmation prompt that is showing a warning that this is indeed coming from a separate device, just to make sure that you're aware that this is not coming from a local machine, but a machine that you've logged into. And again, hitting authorize logs us into the server, and we've authenticated from one server to another server. The second upcoming change is remember authorization prompts. So as you've seen, for each of these authorizations, we had to make a decision and go into the client and hit authorize. And that might be fine for one server, but if you're, for instance, an administrator that's updating maybe 100 or 200 servers, of course, you don't want to hit authorize like 200 times in a row. And so one of the upcoming changes here is a new setting in the settings menu where you can change the authorization behavior to either never ask or remember until your vault is locked. In this case, I'm going to choose never. And just going out of this again and logging back into the server, it will now instantly log you in without asking, as long as your vault is unlocked. Of course, all of this works with VS Code and any other IDE, which I don't have a demo for today, but I do believe we have demo material on our YouTube channel on this. Okay, I think that concludes my demo, and I'm not sure who to hand over. Maybe Don, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm next. Thanks, Bernd. Great demo. Awesome feature, super seamless with those upcoming features too. So yeah, we're just going to get this screen sharing going again. I'm Don on the technical team, and we're going to go over a couple community questions that we've had roll in. So as we get that going...
Yeah, so as we're starting to get some of these slides going again, Don, you also answered a question in the questions pane, and I was wondering if you wanted to share that answer verbally.
Yeah, sure. So we're super excited. Thank you, Daniel, for that question. The desktop app roadmap for native autofill. For anyone that doesn't know, if you have the auto type running on the desktop app, that will let you autofill your credentials to existing applications on your desktop. That also covers passkeys, so we're excited for that to come. We just don't have exact timelines to share today, but stay tuned to all of our familiar places like the community and our newsletter and future Vault Hours sessions. Okay, so next slide. So one question we see in the community occasionally is asking why Bitwarden doesn't save suggested passwords automatically. So we wanted to take a moment on the next slide to just highlight the spaces where you can actually find the most recently generated credentials. So maybe this is a reminder for us to maybe make this easier to find at some point, but you can find that in one of two spaces. So on the right-hand side shows that built-in generator where you can go to the generator history. And the other one on the left is the password history per item. So if you navigate to any item, you can find the most recent passwords that you've generated. So if you've been in the middle of changing any passwords and you may have lost something in the process, you can navigate to these spaces anytime to capture that information. This was a great question about secure notes. So for anyone just using the standard password feature in Bitwarden to store credentials, secure notes is a great way to get rid of all those sticky notes in your workplace. So a lot of businesses require compliance with your physical workspace. So moving those notes to your secure note area in Bitwarden is a great way to capture things like door codes, passwords, things that you've had in your other space for now. So on the next screen, showing that Edge browser, you can use that filter on the right-hand side to easily drill down to any notes that you've created. And from any of the clients, including the web app, you can just go to that new button and click note. And that's basically 10,000 characters of secure text. Some people will store certificates, APIs, any sort of secure information that you want to get out of your physical workspace. And then on to the next one, we have one more question. Is Bitwarden open source? So for those with us today that have been with us a long time, yes, the answer is resounding yes. If you head over to the next slide, bitwarden.com/open-source, we list and link out to all of the repos so you can browse the code at your own leisure. And we also have bitwarden.com/compliance, which shows the extensive auditing that we go through every year, including the recent ISO 27001 compliance to follow up on our regular SOC 2 compliance. So for those wondering how the open source nature makes it more secure, is that with proprietary closed source projects, the community and security researchers are unable to look at that code. But with Bitwarden, we have a partnership as well with HackerOne. So we have security professionals on there combing through the code at all times as part of our bug bounty program. And because we are also open source, we have a lot of our community self-hosting on-premise to be compliant with their own needs. And that's it for me on the community side. And thank you for listening.
Cool. Thank you, Don. And if you are, participating a lot in the community as well, you'll probably recognize Don's, profile picture as well. He's very active, and so I'm very happy to answer any kinds of questions that you might have. Now, jumping over to some more product updates from Bitwarden. Ryan, are you ready to cover this?
Yes, back on here. All right, so a couple other updates that are coming down. So one is browser persistence. So this is already out now for filters and searching, and that is, sometimes if you close the Bitwarden browser extension, it would kind of reset and you would lose your place. Some work is being done for caching that for up to 2 minutes. So you're going to see this browser persistence now for filters and search. And then very soon, we're going to see it also for login with device approvals. So you could be able to do this for approving a web app, for example, through the web extension. And then soon being able to add and edit items. So if you're editing an item and you click away and the extension closes, you'll be able to open it right where you were. So that's coming down. Also, we're going to see an update to the edit and delete permissions available in the collection management settings. So the edit items permission currently does not have the ability to delete items. You have to have the manage collection capability for that. But now there's going to be an option to choose whether or not the edit items permission will allow that member to also delete items as necessary. So this is actually a reverting back to what we had seen, what our prior behavior was before. But now it's a flexible option, which is great. And then also coming soon is using FIDO2 2FA on Linux. So now you can just do passkey logging in on Linux. Actually, this might already be available. It's either available or on its way, where now if you're using the desktop application, you will just be able to use two-factor authentication with the FIDO key, like a YubiKey. That's it.
Sorry, I was muted. Great. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that quick walkthrough. Wanted to also give a little bit of a shout out to an upcoming conference that Bitwarden is participating in called RSA. And so this is a really big event for the cybersecurity industry. Really great opportunity to not only network with cybersecurity colleagues, but also attend keynotes from some of the most top cybersecurity leaders in the country. Also, really great opportunity to learn about new solutions and trends within the industry. So, really, just a really good hub of cybersecurity information and connections. So, Bitwarden is participating, right? If you want to come visit Bitwarden and see our lovely faces in person, you can visit the booth, which is listed here in the South Expo Hall. If you do come visit the booth as well, you can also pick up some swag that is not available in store. We have a couple of really cool new slogans available on our sports towels, right? So some smaller towels for travel. We've got coolers, we've got snapback hats. And then a crowd favorite is these Bitwarden fire beaners. So they're fire starting carabiners. They ran out really quickly last year. I use them all the time whenever I go camping. So, yeah, please come and chat with us. We'd love to see some of the community members in person, especially if you're already attending RSA, which will be in San Francisco this year, actually starting Monday next week. And if you're not excited about swag, I wanted to highlight also one of probably the coolest things we've done in a while, which is RSA last year. We had Harry Mack, who is an improv rapper, come join us. And he was essentially putting together raps on the spot based on passphrases generated from the Bitwarden passphrase generator. So I wanted to share just a quick clip of the fun and excitement around Harry Mack and what you might be able to expect when coming to visit us at RSA. Oh, do you hear that audio?
No.
Okay,
Can you put the YouTube link in the chat? Maybe we can just
yeah, absolutely. That will probably be a better way to go about it.
yeah, then y'all can watch your own time if necessary.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry, team. Lots of things happening. Let's reshare that. Beautiful. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. So yeah, feel free to go check this out on yourself. It is really fun to watch and just see how Harry Mack is able to take basically suggestions on the spot from the Bitwarden passphrase generator and, turn that into a cool, song essentially about cybersecurity. So if you are happening to be in San Francisco next week and you are intending to join the RSA conference, we would love to see you there. Maybe put the face to your username on Vol Hours. Yeah, love connecting with the community. So we always love to end these sessions also with another swag giveaway. Everyone who's joined these sessions before know that we always like to end Vault Hours with this swag giveaway. You can see what options are available at bitwarden.com/shop, which is constantly being updated. And I know in previous Vault Hours, we've had some people asking for more size options. Certain sizes tend to run out pretty quickly, and those have been updated as well. So there should be a wide variety of sizes and products in the Bitwarden store. One of the coolest new additions, I'd say, is this Stanley Cup that has the Bitwarden branding on it, talking about staying hydrated and secure. So definitely something else. Cool. So to participate in the Vault Hours giveaway, right, just go to bitwarden.com/shop, scroll down to the bottom of the page where you'll find this contact form. Fill out the form and say that you heard about the giveaway during Vault Hours 51. And if you submit the form within 24 hours, you will be considered. I also want to call out, we do this 24-hour kind of buffer just in case anyone is watching the recording at a later time. So we definitely want to make sure that those individuals are also considered. So if you're watching this recording and it is 24 hours from Friday, the 25th of April, you can still participate. So please don't feel left out if you're watching the recording. Looks like we actually got a question as well within the questions pane. Ryan, it's about the persistence within the browser extension. Do you want to take this away?
Yeah, so let's see. Get a prompt for saving changes would be good for user experience. Yeah, so the issue, well, for one, we're gonna have it persist. So if it closes, you can go back to it. The issue is, which is how browser extensions will work, is that if you click out of the window, it just closes. There's nothing to stop that. The best solution here is to do a pop out. So right now, instead of closing and resetting your spot where you were, now you'll be able to reopen and go back to it. But that's just my understanding is just limitation of how browser extensions are boxed up.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. And I also just got a notification. Thank you, Nasser, for sharing the right link for Harry Mack. Looks like I copied the wrong one. So, yeah, definitely go and watch it in the link that Nasser copied. It's a really fun video to check out. We're kind of nearing the end of today's session. It was a little bit shorter than usual, but this is also still a great opportunity to, ask questions for the Bitwarden team, to ask questions for the community members who are in the chat. So please, put things in the questions pane, put things in the chat if you have any questions or comments. Love to hear it. We're going to stick on for a couple more minutes just to give you the space to type things out. But in the meantime, as well, if you are an individual user who is looking to maybe expand, right, your Bitwarden subscription, maybe introduce it to your workplace, definitely check out a Bitwarden free trial at bitwarden.com. I believe the redirect is trial, but you can also just go to bitwarden.com and click on start an enterprise trial, and it will get you started for 7 days. We also have a question, Ryan, about any updates on sharing an item directly from the vault.
Yeah, Deadon's already there with it. Not at this time. Nothing we can share. Teams will take a good hard look at it and say like, wow, this will require like a big refactoring of how our sharing model works. So no, we haven't done any additional work on that at this time.
Right, and we've got another question in the questions pane about archiving feature coming and how there's been rumors about that within the community forum.
Oh, so I can actually answer this, and that is there's some truth to the rumors. Details are still sparse, but they'll be coming up here. Like more information will be shared when it's ready.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the community forums, any of our other communication channels like product update emails, and that will definitely be the right place to keep an eye on. Also, these vault hours, right? I think everyone here just got an update on attachment exports before the rest of the world. So if you're ever curious about these kinds of product features and where they are within the roadmap, this is the right place to be. Great. I'm going to give it a second. Yeah, archiving would be amazing. Give it a second for anyone to add any other questions. Maybe in the meantime, we can start playing a little bit of music to fade out today's session.
All right, let me get that going.
Yeah.